You saved the town, everyone, from people intending to burn it to the ground. After making a mess of Thistletop, against all odds, you fought off a greater Barghest. Nice. Of course, as a result of this, you have a few weeks of getting to bask in the glory of being a hero. And maybe do some cleanup in certain areas or things. I'm not your mom, I don't tell you what to do. So, what do you want to do in those intervening weeks? Like, you could always check out and see if there's anything cool still in Thistletop. I mean, that lady had some fancy legs, didn't she? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, like I said, Ameko will probably be interested in buying a Barghest head like that. It's huge! I'm, I'm a wiener and I'm selling this. Oh my god, Claire. Part where I put my paw on you and just kind of smush you into the floor. You weenie. I always said that this head is worth like 500. So what cold iron dagger are you selling? I thought you already liquidated that asset. Tiny ass dagger. They did. Well then, liquidate your assets for God's sake. I remember doing an analysis of the price of this thing because it was so weird. It should be in notes. Where did the analysis? Or some people would say the analysis. But where is it? Whoops. Maybe I put it under GM. Nope. Oh my god. This is great. Dagger. Cold iron returning back. Okay, I think there's a dude who has like a thing on this. Okay, it in total is worth 10,304 gold pieces. So divide that by half, and that's what you can get. Excellent, excellent listening skills. Let me just. You can sell it for 5,152. Money, money, money. I wonder if anyone at Paizo knew what that meant to give you that dagger. On the other hand, the thing that gets me though is that that character could easily escape, but it's written in such a way that you're going to kill it. It doesn't want to leave. So you're gonna get that dagger. Well, anyway, how do you want to live your life now? As you get to bask in the glory of being famous, as you are accosted on the street by people who want to offer you free breads. Maybe as I mentioned, it might be worth clearing out Thistletop. See if you left anything behind, because aside from that, considering that these seem to have been the big organizers, it's entirely plausible that the goblins will eventually stop being a big problem. Hmm. I mean, you only burnt down the top floor.
We'll see what's left of the forest.
There's just one question I gotta ask you. How do you intend to get to Thistletop since you burnt the bridge down?
Uh, do we remember how long the gap was between both islands? I missed it.
Between the bridge and the other area, it's like 60, 70 feet. It's a bit of a jump. Yes.
Oh,
Baby. Apparently, they also fixed one of the biggest concerns I had with a new lighting engine on the Roll20. On the other hand, I would like it if Foundry would just
for that,
fucking let me pay with something that isn't a credit card. I hate that.
I could buy some Titans and some rope. They had the magic crystal.
Maybe they have one of those instant boats. Yeah, there is a boat that can turn into a box. Is that what you want, Claire?
Ooh, you can get a collapsible ladder.
The marvels of modern technology. So yes, I'm gonna need an answer as to how you intend to arrive.
Uh, yeah. All right. I'm going to try that out.
What a plan. All right.
But just in case, I'm also getting some Titans as well.
Instant bridge, you say? Of course. This thin steel plate is approximately 1 foot. Wow. It only goes to 30 feet, Claire. You need twice that. You head on over to Thistletop, like the great and brave heroes you are. I just need to remove a few tokens that are here that should not be here.
Got a little lock symbol underneath, and they'll make symbols pop up, and they'll be like,
Huh. As you head on over to Thistletop, you scoot your rope across. The whole place is a lot of ash, a lot of smoldering trees. It's not pleasant. Oh well. As you clamber your way across, you find that the ruins. Well, I mean, they're ruins. It's a big heap of debris. It turns out goblins don't exactly make good fireproof or fire resistant buildings. Or fire retardant buildings, as some people like to call it. They get a +5 modifier. Marvelous. Once you've successfully managed to successful yourself, you climb down where you know one of the stairs is. This is the point where I drop all your tokens down on the map. Should reorganize this a bit. Put that at the bottom. The whole place is a mixture of kind of smoky and just a slightly bit unpleasant. There's an I mean, some of the debris may have fallen in and smoke might have piled up in the early rooms.
I mean, if I had to guess after we left, they probably like rampaged so hard that they just burnt the place down. I don't know how goblins think. Anyway, oh, oh yeah, there's two of me.
Get out of here, Dupla Carissa. Alright, amazing Quinto. You find at the end of a long. Well, it's not a long passage, it's a very short passage, and it's also. Again, it's all built for goblins, so it's all relatively small in places. It's a storage room of some sorts. It seems to be a whole bunch of junk that they scavenged off the salty beach. Junk Beach, to be specific. You also, to the north, hear the waving of the seas. Like a slushing. But you won't know until you figure it out. As you walk into another room, what do you find in this other room? You find something called a tentamort. Just so that you have a name to give it. It's this.
That looks unpleasant.
Oh heck. I mean, unless you didn't specify you being particularly stealthy as you moved around. And I assume that considering you're a character of bravado and there's no reason to assume anything is alive here. This thing has all round vision and also has blind sets of 30 feet. It knew you were there before you even knew it was there.
Oh God, I'm cursed with knowing.
What? Point is, this creature is getting a little bit hungry. Yes. And it's planning to drop down soon. Go ahead, roll me a range attack roll. Or throw an attack roll, I guess.
I you could just click on range.
That won't hit it though. It clanks off. It's fine. Fine and smooth body. I mean, it's kind of hard to hit something that doesn't really have any good grapple points. That has like a couple of holes and odds and ends, but for the most part, it's pretty smooth and stoic. Or slippery.
Also,
It is stabbing time.
when you're trying to grapple a grappling hook. Seriously? It, well, I assume I heard the clang of metal, so
I mean, it's a pretty distinct noise.
yeah, so we know something's up. Also, why don't you just add your +2 to the initiative? Okay.
Dentamort eagerly slithers a bit closer. What will it throw out at you? What will it throw out at you as it takes a single step? It will throw out at you. It slithers and slides across. Okay, this is all set to private, and I should stop that. Go to never whisper. I don't get why Pathfinder does that. It throws a tentacle at you, and then a fine stinger. No, it has 10-foot reach. Go nuts. Clink. Clink. It manages to manipulate its head in such a way that it absorbs every blow. Ezra, you hear clinking and clonking in back there.
Da 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 da. Let me. Like, can I get past there?
Yeah, you can slide around south. North is a bit more difficult.
Yeah, the closest I can get is like right here. Like,
Heck yeah. Oh, by the way, if you're taking a full move action, it will try to slap you with one of its stinger. Because don't forget. To be fair, it's probably not used to plate mail. It's used to goblins.
well, as it's not like wearing plate now, it's just kind of the image I got for her.
Yeah, yeah. Bap up. What are you doing now that you've moved there? Is that your whole turn?
5 foot step to get in range, and then I'll do a little pump. Bam!
Well, that does hit. Smacking it right on top of its head.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
No.
no, I just have that on.
Torvis. There's noises. Noises. Because you don't have a light.
Oh yeah, you're human, aren't you?
It already took its attack opportunity. It doesn't have combat reflexes.
What?
You whip your chain back and forth. I mean, you hit it.
hit it, and we'll scream at it. Get out of here!
The Tentamorts is 6, so that's 8. So that's 5. It's shaken for 2 rounds.
I attack first. Should have screamed at it first.
It's very spooked of your spookiness. Craig, you hear a bunch of clattering in the distance through that door the kitty cat walked through.
Are we always drunk? All of us? Like, hey, it's a scared animal. We can talk to it.
Its saddles back. Uh, yeah, it technically is not an animal, in fact.
Oh.
Oh boy. Now, which one of you looks like the easiest to crack nut? Well, probably the kitty cat, who isn't wearing much compared to the other people. Once more, it tries to grab, and then that's a -5.
So 18. And I'm not even using my counter, which is pretty cool, so. Guess I'm using load one.
Ooh.
So yeah, I parried stab the bastard, so I'm safe.
Oh my.
Oh, and since I hit it, that's +4.
Swashbuckler. And to figure. Reach weapon and swashbuckler parrying.
I just, I don't want to like.
You do need to have them within your reach to riposte them, though.
Okay, so I don't get to riposte them.
And get the
Oh,
parry.
same team. I'm like, oh, hey, no, he's type level.
It suddenly starts to slide up on the wall.
Like, hell, you do.
As it plans to get out of your reach.
It has no idea what we're installing. It's like, baby, I got tentacles too. Mean Finally ones. hit him. Now stab at it again, while still within reach.
Boop.
I'm guessing that hits.
Yep.
Or no?
Yes.
Maybe I didn't riposte it. Okay, so that's 10. And 4.
Nope.
That's just me.
Ezra.
That's me. Uh, so I'm gonna fast forward these steps, and then to try to make things go quicker, I'm gonna include feint.
What? Alright. Uh, roll me the bluff check?
Yeah. Oh, bam.
Bonus base attack, -4, plus wisdom modifier 2. Okay, yeah, you make it. You faint it.
I,
It's flat footed.
heck yeah. Then I'm gonna go for a pop.
Then I'm going
I
to
only get one
explode it.
from it.
Damn.
Well, that is all you needed to take it down.
Yeah.
So it was flat-footed on all of its many feet.
All of its many feet. Although I don't know how faint interacts with all round vision. I'll look it up while we got the time. As you managed to clear out this place a bit.
Yeah. Haven't seen one of those in a long time. I'm already wandering off.
I was surprised you see one of these. They're actually pretty tough. Okay, it's just it can't be flanked. Doesn't stop it from being fainted.
Oh well. Yeah.
Okay. Can I search it to see if it had anything on it? Because sometimes these things pick up stuff a bit.
Yeah, they pick it up, but they don't carry it with them.
Oh.
Oh no. Alright. Kitty Cat starts scrounging at doors, going from the cave back to the natural carvings of human society.
The human.
I don't know. This was made long, long ago. A large portion of this is not goblin made.
Half off cat.
This used to be a statue head, you know. That's why it looks like a head.
Tell people must know this.
Tandem more don't like to make good trophies anyway.
Double doors. Spot a kick.
No, okay, I make sure to like at least be 5 feet from the cat. Yeah, you're learning a lot about this cat.
The cat completely ignores the fine carvings on the door and just goes bam.
Yeah, continue.
There's like a sign in Elven that says, "Speak friend and watch out for claymore mines placed on
Kick.
door."
I'm gonna see if I can find a nice curse though, because you did just defile a temple. I did
The cat. The cat.
curse the cat. Cat, roll me a will save.
Already. Will save?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna use a charmed light.
A divine presence tries to bestow bad luck upon thee.
So yeah, I'm adding that +5 to my will save.
I got holy
Oh,
water,
good
so
lord.
that's good.
Will save. 12.
Nope. All right. Well, you feel like bad luck has befallen you.
That's a new feeling for me.
Pour holy water on the cat to cleanse it up.
I mean, holy water can only do so much if you're not a priest.
Darn it. It's like,
Oh well.
That said, this is a well, I mean, it's a gorgeous temple if you like a monster motif of humans fleeing in fear and being torn apart by many limbs, claws, pincers, horns, teeth. Mastication is a term that springs to your mind seeing that image. Ooh.
Yeah, I somehow thought of that term. I don't even know what it means.
Mastication just describes what it's like when you're under
oh shit.
when a goat has teeth for a stomach.
That's pretty screwed up. Also, just
Vivid.
really quick question: how is the temple not defiled already with intervening the random goblins?
Maybe it's Goblin Temple.
Yeah, maybe it's theirs.
I mean, the monster motif makes it pretty clear it's not for people.
Uh, so I'm just gonna peek in, but I'm not going in. Just like, yeah, I don't like those murals.
I'm going up.
Archaeologists are gonna look and stuff like that.
Let's see if there's anything cool about this. Ooh. Ooh, the statue in the back appears to be some sort of very tall pregnant lady. The shapely naked woman wields a kukri in each taloned hand and has a long reptilian tail, bird-like taloned feet, and a snarling head and head of a three-eyed jackal with a forked tongue. Ooh. The, they are stone kukris, but they have been tapped with like a light spell to make them glow colors. One is orange, one is blue.
So you're asking yourself, how much do I want to defile a temple? how cursed do I
Look,
want to get?
Alan is actually kind of religious, just in the fact that he, as a sailor, believes that there's way too many of them to care about.
I get that. Okay.
At least you're not in the setting where elves are banned by the gods of the sea to ever set foot in the sea again.
No, I heard about that setting.
That so it's like psychopaths won't step in a
Oh, and
puddle and
dwarves
drown.
will die if they're on a boat for more than a week.
It seems that there's a large layer of ash on the altar, presumably from burning altars, from burning offerings or something. It smells like people.
Pleasant.
Well, I'm disappointed.
I
I
mean,
mean, that was cool looking and stuff, but you know.
I can do a roll perception and see if there's any goodies in here.
Sure, you can take a look around.
I'm gonna take a look around.
I mean, if they have corpses, they probably put the corpses thing somewhere.
Exactly, like in an offering box, maybe.
As you take a look around and scooch behind the altar, you find a wand of cure light wounds that is not covered in the best of substances.
Holds up
It's
dramatically.
like part of it is half burned. There's caked blood on it. This was used to keep people alive through things that should kill them. You're not allowed to die, Mr. Bond.
Well, I
I'm going to see how many knives I can put in until this wand runs out.
wow, that's so. Okay, well, so I just walk out of there and just like have this. Well, it's always kind of grim looking. Like, well, that's screwed up.
You need a wand.
You want it? That's
Sure.
kind of dope. I actually hand the wand to Ez. I go here. I chuck her the wand.
Can I get it?
You got a pokey stick with magic.
Do you have the ability to use it?
Well,
Weren't we being a bit more flexible for this one since none of you know how to use magic?
yeah, like I think Sasha said that you could craft or use magic items that
Yeah.
had a higher DC. And of course, create too with magic, so you could
Okay,
trump all magic things.
okay. Kitty Cat opens another door while you're having a nice look at this wand, revealing a Art Nouveau gallery. The lower half of this room is covered in crude drawings made of mud, blood, and what barely qualifies as paint. They appear to be about goblins engaging in a variety of creative methods of violence, as well as against humans, dogs, horses, elves. There's one picture on the north wall that's 3 times the size of most of these scrawlings, and has a greater complexity to it as well. It seems to depict the place you are in right now, the goblins on top, and they're placed and situated to look a bit like a crown. It's kind of neat. And at the center, and at the center of this thing is a large, muscular goblin with snake-like eyes and a dog slicer in each taloned hand. Appears to be some sort of mixture of that lady in the other room, and what goblins want to see.
I'm surprised we didn't find someone like childish drawing of like the bow wielding bugbear with a little crown on his head on the
Nobody
arm.
likes him.
Nobody likes it.
He doesn't like it. Okay, we go.
As the kitty cat moves in deeper, they find themselves in something that resembles a war room. There's a large slate board which has been used to draw upon a map of Sandpoint. Several markings indicate a refined battle plan that was presumably shattered by the fact that they lost majority of the people required to execute it.
These guys are getting ready for this. No wonder they got in. Oh well, humans, am I right? I say, yelling back to the human.
It mentioned something about the Whispering Beast, but
That's the name I've not heard of. Have you guys heard of the Whispering Beast? Did we just kill it?
I
Infection
mean,
Boxer Slayer. Have I ever heard of such a thing? Because that beast we saw the other day, that one was a whispering. That was stealth.
mm,
Well, that was a far guess. I've never heard them call a whispering beast as far as I can remember.
yeah, that was more roary. And it could talk, but it was more roary.
He sure liked to talk a lot, as far as I can tell.
Torvis slides open a door and fights. Well, it's described as a research room, and it does look like it. There's scrolls and books, all open at different places with many bookmarks, stone tablets covered in dense, spiky runes, and fragments of carvings that must have been taken off statues and bas reliefs. While this place is filled with countless cool historical notes, like none of it's really valuable.
Must have been that mage's room that Ezra threw an air hole in.
Kitty Cat finds a staircase that is filled to the brim with debris, leading upwards.
That was probably my fault.
Definitely.
I start leaving the room. A lot of depictions of that jackal thing.
That makes me wonder, where is this? Oh,
Hey Craig, what you been up to? It's been like 5 minutes. Where you been?
I've been just kind of hanging around, letting you guys.
Watching our back in case there's more
By the way, Torvis, can you roll me some perception?
Please be careful.
Ah, yeah.
They don't look friendly.
With these tight ass hallways, there's no point in fucking all of us piling into a single room.
And by the end of it, if those things get their way, that's going to be the only tight ass in this place.
Well, there's only a few more places you haven't been to what you can recall. Although so far this place is turning out to be a bit smaller than, you feel like it should be.
Yeah, it feels like there should be more rooms or something.
I'm going to go this way. Bye, guys.
Wait, look, stairs.
This looks like a kennel.
Well, that's the stairs in the where
What's
we
creaking?
came.
Or a prison of some sorts. There's cages here.
Anything alive in these cages?
Nope.
Okay.
This passage leads back to the fine church, and this passage over here leads to a warden's office.
Found doors down here.
I'm a follow free.
And so I. So what are you free?
Oh my god, I love this description. Dwarves over here is the office. Just some keys and some random swords and knickknacks. Tongs, swords, torture implements. Things used to pull nails out of fingers.
Do any of the swords look of like any kind of
No.
value?
It's goblins. They're made out of scrap metal, awkwardly made. The edge barely qualifies as a cutting edge.
Spit getting a little annoyed at these goblins. These ramshackle beasts.
In the meantime, Ezra is examining the barracks.
I'm just following Craig, but yeah.
I mean, this place is empty. It's unlikely something would have moved in here anyway. Man, Oric gets a whole bunch of. Oh, wow. Why is this system so intent on telling me the backstory and all these NPCs that never comes up?
So you can understand the backstory of NPCs
Like,
that we like explore and beat the piss out of.
you don't need the whole explanation that comes after this. All you need is after a scam involving a tiefling prostitute, shifty alchemists, and an elixir of love, Oric was forced to flee town. That's all you need to get a good evocative backstory. Like, what the fuck happened?
Wow. So this guy was just like stoically on his last legs, just trying to like get a leg up, and we just pulled.
Nah, he's trying to seize power. Don't worry about it. All right, Ezra.
Yes.
Do you check the rooms because there's not much in them. There's just some fun notes from characters.
Yeah, we're just gonna like. Yeah.
There is an ever burning torch in one of the rooms. One of those magical light sources.
That could replace all those torches you're carrying.
There's also a chamber that smells like Bartholomew.
Which one did I?
Oh god,
Like,
there's my Bartholomew.
Oh wait, no, this one is his room.
He had a pad, and I lit it on fire.
Well, that was where all the hooers go.
Yeah, and where he was obviously hoovering it up.
At this point, Torvis remembers that they actually saw like a wall hanging ajar somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Where was it?
I remember he's a bit hazy.
Roll for memory.
No,
Roll for memory.
no. You're gonna have to look around if you want to find it.
I'm sure it was around somewhere around here. I'm gonna try to.
Torvis, do you want to light up a light source or something? Maybe you can get that ever burning torch.
Yeah, because I have a sunpot.
Yeah, like I'm not alive.
Ezra, do you surrender your ever burning torch?
yeah, I'll just bring the torch. Tarvis.
I tell. Oh yeah, to make sure. It's like I remember. I think I saw something off one of the walls.
You now have a light source, Torvis. Go ahead and explore.
All right, so I'm gonna pat around the walls in this area
The
basically.
stairs are there. There's unlikely there's something there.
The stairs are the trick. They're fake stairs. They're illusions.
You went down the stairs.
I know. They're still fake. I trust them.
Yeah. Well, I told him about the wall, and I started patting the wall basically. Not sure if that's even perception. What?
I mean, you'll know when the wall is there. Let me put it like that.
The cat's going forward.
Alright.
I'm gonna get back to
It's
work.
unlikely it's over there. That area has been like freshly carved out and stuff.
Is there anything
Hey,
that I could
Wait.
find like different about this altar? Like I'm looking for like chips, like a chip switch or something that maybe opens
You
the
decide to
door.
closely examine the altar, but unfortunately, it just seems to be a holy altar of some unholy altar, I guess. But it does not contain any cool switches.
Profane is a good word.
Torvis starts tearing all the goblin art off the walls.
Yeah, it's just like sort of just yank. I mean, who cares? I just I start yanking the stuff down because it's bugging me now. I know I saw something, but I got distracted.
Who knows where that something is?
Uh,
Well, there's only two places we've been, so here maybe.
I very much appreciate. I mean, if you're paying attention, if you're paying attention, you might just notice. I wholeheartedly imagine Bella being the one to find this because Bella does tend to be the attentive one when it comes to the subtle details.
I found a door with a spur.
Yeah, those are blocked by
Bella, Bella, looking around. I can't believe you can't find it.
yeah,
I'm gonna start snapping walls.
I have
I
a
mean, so this is
slight
better.
lag because of all the shadow adjusting.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's
Well,
just gonna
you
assume
know,
Torvus is just crazy because she's.
They're not crazy. You clearly remember like there being a section of wall that was like hanging out a bit. You know, hanging inward actually,
Yeah, hanging inward.
so that it would be easier to jam from the inside.
Wait, it's not this door. Is it door? Is it tripping?
I see the door.
I don't know if this new broad has any idea what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah, I think she's well, at least she didn't die at the stairs though.
Stairs won't claim my life. These will do it.
So yeah, what is that door in front of us?
Yeah, like, am I? Something right here.
Door number 3, or door leading to Mr. Number 3. No, I want to select this door. There we go. Room number 3 is drumroll. Ah, it's a nursery. Although to be fair, it seems that the goblin idea of a crib is literally a cage.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, from my understanding, due to anime, they need humans to breed. So
You can spend a hero point if you want to just find the hidden door.
I'm smacking walls around here. So
What?
just smacking my giant. They look like
All
big,
right then.
strong hands.
As Craig slams all the walls, he did slam open the secret door. Yes.
Where's the
Wait, where
secret?
was it?
Hey, look,
Wait,
the
you had
secret fucking stupid door.
you had me roll perception like over here. Why would I think it was over here?
It's marked with an S, therefore it is secret.
Because you move too quickly, Claire.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, that's why I was looking all the way on over here because I don't remember rolling for that over there. Yeah, that's my bad.
Claire, I moved the door inward. I moved in such a way that you would have been able to tell that something was amiss if you used your noggin. Well, gang,
Your
The noggin.
mistake.
your noggin using skills is disappointing, but maybe it's a learning point for later.
I look. I back door.
I can't believe you're involving Blue's Clues in this, Claire.
This is awesome.
Down the stairs you go.
I'm getting fucking.
There's spider webs in the corners of the rooms. There's a slight draft blowing in your face. Salty. The whole place.
So I smell the sea.
The sea is somewhere. Well, the sea's technically all around. As you go down, you find yourself in front of an ancient door that you just brazenly ignore. Who needs puzzle clues and warnings of danger when you can just walk right into it? Ooh, let's see. There are two stone pillars that support the ceiling around here. It seems a little overkill. The ceiling is caked with grime and soot, so all the time there's this constant smell as it slowly chips off over the centuries. In the alcoves are partially damaged dudes in robes holding books and glaives.
So are you gonna look at the door? Because I figured might as well.
You examine the door. Let's see, the door just around the corner from the steps is slightly ajar and depicts detailed carvings. Oh no, the detailed carvings have been defaced by chisel marks and hammer blows. All at like chest height, the ones higher up aren't great. The only ones that remain show crowns, gemstones, and other kinds of delicious wealth. Wish fulfillment. Oh, whoops, I need to remove these people.
Oh, cat, you really should have looked at this door. It's all about, how they lay cat folk. Yeah, it's just, pretty gruesome. Not
It's
really.
it's just a. Apparently, this whole cult is just dedicated to slaughtering your kind.
Well, I mean, good thing I lit this place on fire.
So
Nah,
wow, I
it,
super don't feel bad about killing those people now.
I was talking about wealth and
Oh, money, cool.
Apparently, in this culture, it's like killing a cat folk gets you rich or something.
Maybe good drive.
Torvis examines the door and looks at the cat boy. Stone
well,
has a note for you.
nah, that was just fucking with that one.
The statues depict the same person, it seems, each of which has been damaged in different ways, either by time or by intention. It's hard to tell. Unfortunately, none of the statues carry anything of worth. They're all made out of stone, book to glaive. Green puppy. What?
Okay, so if they're heavy doors, say something. I'll look at this door. Does it say anything for me?
Nope.
Okay, see, this is why I don't care.
The average door does not depict things.
You guys can keep looking here. I'm keep going.
Can you roll me a perception check first? As you step into this fine room. The hallway has a slope that rises slightly to the east, by the way. It's been polished, probably because of water flowing across it easily. You also manage to stop yourself before you step between these two castles. There appears to be some sort of tripwires strung across. Additionally, now that you have take a moment to examine, the statues look like they're articulate enough that they can swing their glaives.
Hey, new girl, wanna come run down this hallway?
That name went weird. What'd you say?
No,
Do you want to run into this hallway?
New girl, wanna run down this hallway?
Nah, want me to kick you down it?
Nah, he just, without going into the hallway, he's just gonna cut the tripwire and then step back from it.
As you cut the tripwire, two portcullises fall from the ceiling, effectively sealing the location up. After that, the glaives swing at the center, cutting up the person inside. Okay, they do that for about 10 seconds, and after that, the floor opens up, and you fall about 10 feet, and then the thing closes back up again. Yes, you'd be nice slices.
That was
You know,
sick, guys.
these traps have names. What is that? Does that trap have a name?
It is called the slashing cage trap.
That's not as fancy as I thought it was gonna be.
First you get trapped, then you get slashed, then you get dropped.
And it was use the cage. It is very descriptive as to what it actually is.
Yep.
Also, just saying, cat man, if you manage to get locked in there and you dodge all the blades, all like Matrix style, that'd be freaking sick, actually.
The trap seems to be disarmed now, so
Okay, I'm gonna go and
do you want to go north or south?
There's probably more traps around here.
I'm going south. I went north last time.
Can I
Which dir-
like sense any spell traps, any statues?
so wait, no. Which way do you go? North south. Got some interference there.
South.
South. To the south we go. Why is every door's line drawn at an angle? I don't know. See a hallway of sorts. Ooh, it's got a cool name. The room is called the Portal of Greed.
Oh, that sounds also pretty cool.
It's super trap filled. It's like super.
Fourth
All right,
trap.
all right, all right. There is a cool door though. There is a cool door. There's a double door around the L-shaped corner, depicting two skeletons reaching out to clutch a skull between them. The east hallway narrows down to a circular carving of what seems to be an immense stack of 10,000 gold coins that rises from floor to ceiling. The edges are carved in tiny spiky runes of the coins, that is. The runes might mean something, but until then, it's a big stack of gold.
Talon looks at the gold, frowns a bit, keeps walking.
Torvis, are you planning to go north, since you're standing there so long?
Yeah, I'm gonna open the northern door carefully.
Torvis wants to go their own way. Because I want it my way.
No, I don't wanna like go into a huge bitter, just in case there's another
You
trap.
see a room! There are burning skulls with candles in them lighting up the room. Three delicious looking chairs, red marble stone ledges. The stone ledges are filled with old books, scrolls, teeth, bones, scrimshaw artwork, jars of deformed creatures soaking in brine, taxidermied animals and limbs, and other strange objects. To the north, a large round fountain is filled with frothy blue water and fills the room with a sound of gurgling, as if someone is drowning.
It's besides the fountain, this just looks like my home. Hang on.
She is the edge lord.
You're pretty sure you could piece together her life story with all these books.
I'm not much for reading, so I'm gonna. I mean, I got trophied animals everywhere, not skulls though. Well, monster skulls. I go to the cat. The book room doesn't look too scary.
What about the money?
Yeah, there's a giant stack of 10,000 gold pieces over there.
Specifically doesn't care about money.
See, I like money, but you see, with the treasure traps and also the obviousness, I'm not an idiot. That's like super hurts.
Those are very big words coming from a baby the Claire.
Well, I mean, look, it's one of those. What about the skull though? You said like it was two skeletons fighting over coins.
Yeah, on this door are two skeletons fighting over a skull.
Okay, I mean, I avoid the gold because that just has trap written all over it. Unless
Wait,
it wants me to think it's a trap.
wait a minute. Ooh.
But what? What if it thinks I would think that it wants me to think that?
Yeah,
Son
so
of a bitch.
yeah, you actually watch as Torvus rambles towards
Torvis and Ezra, you get to roll me a perception check.
Huh?
Torvis and Ezra, you get to roll me a perception check when you walk through the portal of greed. If you walk through the portal of greed.
Yeah.
All right, I don't see anything. My eyes go blind.
Ezra, When you walk into the portal of greed and take a look at that fine stack of gold, you notice that there's a coin slot at the base of the large pedestal upon which the gold sits.
Gonna examine the slot.
It's a coin slot. You think a gold piece, a silver piece, any piece you have would really fit inside of it. Kitty Cat opens the door in the meantime. You see before you a dark hallway that appears almost like a crypt, for there are sarcophagi standing in the corners. You recall that in some cultures it's not uncommon to seal the architects inside where they come from, what they create. Great, 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 great.
This was just being supported the internet. It's gonna be one of those.
If you consider that maybe you're an undercooked weenie, ha ha ha.
Right now, though, man, apparently I'm just perplexed by the. Nope. I'm just perplexed by the freaking like freaking ancient cursed vending machine coming up.
Ezra found a coin slot.
Hello. Yeah, I was
Bubba.
imagining it's like one of those coin push things from
Salad?
No, it's just a hole the size of a coin in profile. Buh, baby, baby, baby.
I'm green puppy and blue too, choosing blue fish. And I have candy cat.
They're so cute. They try so hard.
Yes.
They try so hard and came so far.
Well, Ezra found a coin slot and Sappy was like describing the dark hallway.
No, no, no. That's not a hallway. That's a crypt. In some cultures, you bury the architect in anything they make if it's important enough. And this hallway has those vibes in it, considering the rest of this isn't the crypt. Wait, what do you do?
Talon. Hello. Uh,
Talon does what? Alright, roll me perception. You do not see any evisceration traps. So, Ezra, what are you doing with this vending machine?
well, Ezra's kind of getting ready to run, but she also has a gold coin in her hand, and she's just gonna like finesse a coin into the slot.
You flip a coin and have it land right in the slot. Click. You hear a rumble. The coins stacks that form the pillar in the wall slowly slide down, revealing a whole nother place you can go. But before that can resolve, there's a slight problemo. And that is the fact that Kitty Cat starts to see that this shadowy room contains more than just inanimate shadows. Sliding from the walls are slender, shadowy figures with no discernible origin. Their hands outstretched into the air itself, and a coldness begins to fill the air. How would you like to fight some incorporeal things? The answer is always no. You do not want to fight incorporeal things. They're terrible. They're so dreamy. Yeah, wiener. Well, in Pathfinder 2, that would have been the appropriate action, but... Can I get an initiative from the Rockman? Sexy. Torvis. The walls are alive.
Okay, can I pull a
Show me the goods.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right, no, never.
One thing you do know about shadows is that they're incorporeal, so you're going to need magic or magic weapons.
Hey, Rock Boy.
Also, they're undead, so you could theoretically cure wound them.
Oh, the wand. I gave
Which
to
you're not guaranteed.
Ezra. The wand. Oh yeah, the wand that I gave to Ezra. Um.
So that's an action to recall some knowledge.
Yeah, I can recall knowledge. Oh, I got holy water.
You do.
I can pour that on my weapon.
You pour some holy water on your weapon.
Is
It.
that a two action to take up to add all
Yep.
water?
Want to take it out? Want to put it on?
Okay, so I scream to say we need magic instead.
Your weapon glimmers with light. The next person in line is a shadow. The shadow creeps slowly along the walls, walking like a projected image.
Wait, if you're using wall shadow, can you?
Then its arm peels off and grabs at your muscles, kitty cat. It does no damage. It does strength damage. Directly to your attribute score.
Paladins don't use that.
Oh, this thing is gonna be long.
Your muscles fade and wane, for it does a touch attack and saps your strength. Ezra,
Yeah. I, I don't know if I heard anything. I know I heard Trevor's yell, we need magic.
You are literally around the corner.
I'll just stand in the corner and be like, yo, what do we need magic for?
the obvious animated shadows that are slowly starting to make kitty cat into an old person.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Actually, I think that's ghosts that make you old, but whatever.
Then I'll move over here and I guess I'll attack the one on this statue. Cause
You decide to attack the sarcophagus and the shadow upon it. Hiya!
yeah, I mean it's something to hit. Oh man.
Your weapon does nothing. It is not magical.
But you got a problem there, Della.
Yeah, well,
You strike at the shadow, and it. Normally, when you hit like things like this with magic weapons, they sort of around it. But in your case, you just cut through it like it's an actual shadow.
I just cut through the sarcophagus. It's like, damn.
The shadow, in the meantime, would like to lay its hands on you 3 times in a row, in fact. And I think it misses all of those.
Yeah.
Impressively, it is unable to sap even a slightest bit of your strength.
We're from the same plane, bitch. Try it.
This one slides in and tries to touch the kitty cat. Kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat.
All fails.
Marvelous. Craig,
Yeah, let's cast. You said let's cast Cure Light Wounds and see what that does.
try to touch the shadow after casting some cure wounds. Abracadabra. Can you roll me a melee attack as you are performing a touch? Trying to burn the wall there, buckaroo.
You click the melee thing.
You reach on out and strike the shadow upon the wall with your cure light wounds, burning a large hole where it once stood, eroding its unholy energies. Kitty cat, do you have a magic weapon?
My rapier is.
See now, someone came prepared. Show me the goods.
Oh, boom.
Wait, my great sword is masterwork.
That's not magical. That just means it's very good.
It's just pretty awesome.
It's magically good. No, just double checking because I remember. I think this is just the 3.5 rule that got stuck in my head incorrectly. Because I recall that. Oh, there we go. Corporeal spells and effects that do not cause damage. Oh, that's where the 50% came from. Okie dokie. Well, you sure managed to stab a shadow. Which one do you want to stab?
I'm going for the one that hit me on my left.
So this guy.
Yep.
You hit him for 3.
Plus 4 for precise strike.
+4 for precise strikes. So +2. Bam.
Wait, it takes half damage from magic weapons?
It takes half damage from anything that isn't ghost touch or force.
Okay, I'm gonna try to cut it again.
Even when hit with spells and magic weapons, it only takes half damage from a corporeal source, except channel energy. Though to be fair,
15.
that still hits, I think. Yep. So that is 15 goes down to 7. The shadow is beginning to flicker in out of existence as the remaining residual negative energy is not enough to keep it completely intact. I need to put this back down to 0. Okay. Everyone gets a +1. Shadow.
Screw it, last move. Nope,
Oof,
doesn't.
oof, oof. The shadow slithers and slides along the wall. And wants to touch this chain lady. Whoop. And it wants to touch this kitty cat. Whoop.
I have a counter to that.
You're lucky that you have a magic weapon or you could not repost that. You perfectly match it. I don't know what happens in that case.
I beat it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. It's rollers. Rollers win. Its DC is the attack, therefore.
5.
That too. Marvelous. Okay, Torvis, I think you just got touched.
Yeah, so I take strength damage.
Damage, yes. So use that temp column and put a little -1 in there.
Oh, lovely.
Ezra.
So,
Yep.
that's 6 damage.
My turn just got skipped a little. I should have done it before.
Where is your turn?
The I
All
added
right,
one.
Torvis, take your turn.
Yeah, I just realized I should have gotten before it, so I'm actually gonna remove that temp thing first.
Well, no, you're taking one of those.
Claire, the temp still applies.
Oh, okay.
You're just taking your turn.
Yeah.
All right, it's fine.
Also, did I kill the shadow?
Turn.
Good morning. All right, I swing at the shadow.
Whoopsh. With a lash of your. Oh, it's a masterwork. Okay, it doesn't do anything.
No, but the holy water.
Oh yeah, put holy water on it. Your glistening whip slashes out of the shadow and dispels it.
Finish me then.
I will.
The shadow turns to nothing but a billowing cloud that waves over the ground like a spilled drink. You have 2 more actions.
Slide over here, and I'm gonna scream at the shadow.
I appreciate that you think you can intimidate something that has no body, but sure. Go ahead.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I yell at it.
You're telling me he's a big weenie. You somehow succeed. It's hard to tell, but you're pretty sure that it was probably intimidated by that? Ezra, you hear Torva shouting at the wall.
Well, I'm gonna try to do the wand of cure light wounds because I saw that work for Craig. So
You arm yourself with a wand and decide to use it.
Expelliarmus.
And I wouldn't have finished it off, but I had to get it out of my way all of a sudden.
You
Is that a ranged attack?
No, it's a melee attack. It's a touch attack. And you slap the wall with the shadow on it.
Bam.
Roll me a 1d8 +1. You might just kill it.
Plus one, so that's four.
3. It takes 3.
Alright. Try it again. Magic, magic, magic. Oh, just another magic.
No, no, no. It takes 2.
Oh, it's using
It takes 2 actions to use an item.
Okay.
Actually, it takes 1, but this system isn't designed for that.
I just used my other action to smack the wand against the wall.
You need a 1 to take out your stick. The shadow, however, it will do 2 things. It will try to touch Craig. It will try to touch you, and then it slinks into the wall.
Is you me?
I think it misses both of you, actually. Those are touch attacks. And Craig actually gets hit. and loses 6 strength.
Wait, against our touch AC?
Yeah, against your touch AC. They're incorporeal. They don't care about what you're wearing.
Okay, so
That's a 12.
okay. My touch 14, so I'm
On
good.
the other hand, Craig lost like almost half of his strength there.
Yes, to bring it up to positive 2. It's not showing on my sheet.
These sheets are really confusing.
Uh, drain strength. -6 to strength. There. In most cases, that means you become heavily overburdened because the average person does not, in fact, consider the possibility that they might become weaker.
Just start stabbing at the one that's still in the room.
You'll get your stabbing time later, after it decides to poke you. And then it goes for Ezra, poke. And then it too slowly tries to slink into the room, into the walls. Craig, it's in the wall somewhere. Maybe if you cure the wall.
You grab it out of the wall. Come here.
I'll just go up and touch the wall with a cure light rune too.
Marvelous.
This is correct. You could punch that thing and its ghost dick.
Or I could
Wait,
gently touch it.
Its
Lovingly
ghost dick.
touch it.
You whack it. Well, good news. Due to the specific and idiosyncrasies of the rules, you do in fact hit it. So roll me your whatever you roll for this. I don't know what your career light wounds looks like. I mean, you did something. You're not sure it's gone though. That's the purview of clerics to know if that's happened. Kitty cat. The shadow is warping into the wall due to the idiosyncrasy. Due to the idiosyncrasies of the rules, you can still technically whack it, but it has cover.
Partial or full?
There is only cover.
Okay. Time to stab at it. I think that hurts.
Even with cover, it feels the sting of another nice 7.
Yeah. Wait, does it round up or down?
Always round down unless mentioned otherwise.
Okay.
The escalation die is 2! Dorvis.
Wait. Dang it, I forgot intimidation.
You can't intimidate it. It cannot see you.
If I hit something, I can. Wait, what?
Torvis, what do you do?
I don't think I can hit it. like,
I just said you can. It just has cover.
okay. I'm gonna slide over here and try to like whap it. I guess.
The holy water on your weapon is starting to evaporate, but you can give it a little flick.
I'm gonna try.
Oh, you can definitely try.
I'm gonna try.
And then you psh in the butt.
What can I use?
I need to look up holy water because I know that it does something. Religious items. Oh, toys and games. What a great way to put that. Holy water. I think it is like 1d6. When direct hit. Oh, it's a direct hit. Is a 2d4, so you can roll me 2d4 extra damage there. Buckaroo.
Yeah, I knew holy water is useful on this thing. Seems good
As long
around.
as you don't drink it.
Thank you.
That is exactly what you needed. After a moment.
Sorry. I am so sorry.
After a moment.
Oh,
After a moment, you realize the shadows aren't coming out of the walls anymore. So whatever they're destroyed or not doesn't really matter. They're gone now. Now, while you didn't notice any traps in the room, you did notice a hidden little door. You see on the walls the depictions of great piles of treasure. What's up, Ezra? Ezra?
I was just say I found a door too, but well, on our way back.
Kitty cat slides on in.
Well, I went south last time.
duh, 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 duh.
I'm gonna wait for a second for the others to catch up.
You slink on into the room.
I'm gonna check on Craig really quick. Okay there, rock boy.
I'm coming.
The smell and sound of the sea gets stronger the deeper you go. You can smell the sea through this doorway.
Is that an exit?
No, but it does lead into what seems to be a collapsed treasury.
I think we have
Let's
to
see.
exit.
Oh god, there's a lot going on here. The walls depict piles of treasure, such as coins, jewelry, and other items of value. To the east, the wall depicts a towering mountain, its peak in the shape of a stern face just above a grand palace. Aww.
Where did I go?
Below the mountain valley cradles an immense city of spires. That's not foreshadowing. Pathfinder never does that. Let's see. There's a pool of water, which there might be treasure in there. There seems to be a large gold helm in the water. And a quick squint reveals that there are other treasures in there as well.
Okay, these look more interesting than coins.
There seems to be an amulet in there as well.
Okay. How far is this ledge here? Is it like
The water is like right up to it.
okay. Hey guys, I'm gonna go swimming. I know cats don't do that. Shut up. But I'm gonna go check some stuff underwater.
Want to roll me some perception first? I gotta pull something up.
Turns out
I am perceiving all the things.
You are perceiving a giant enemy crab under that helmet with little snippy claws.
What?
Is that a giant helmet?
It's a big enough helmet to support a giant crab. That's the size of a person.
That is a big helmet.
It is a big helmet. It weighs like 300 pounds.
That is an amazing looking crab.
Hey, a 300 pounds gold helmet probably is worth a ton.
Probably. I mean, what's the current gold price per ounce?
You'll find out once you get your hands on the helmet, but for now you have to worry about the fact there's a crab in there in the way of all that treasure.
Gold price per ounce, by the way, is $1,720.
Sexy.
We're gonna be rich, guys. There's a crab in there. We're gonna kill the crab, and then we have 2 dinners.
Tortoise kind of squints in the water. Wait a second. Did that crab
Guys
wear
like
a helmet?
seafood, right?
It's a hermit crab wearing a helmet.
Okay, hermit crabs can be dicks.
Also, the staircases you went down go down, by the way. So, hence why the water is so high. Now, what do you want to do? You're gonna have to put up with that crab if you want his treasure.
Barter with it.
Hey, maybe it works. You have a druid. Maybe you can negotiate something.
Actually, yeah, we gotta.
It's not really relevant to this conversation. You can just talk up here while the hermit crab pokes his head out. The real question is, what do you think you have? If you want to take this weird esoteric route, do you have anything you could offer a crab?
I mean, you guys want to talk.
Looks at my inventory actually. Let me get a pet, you know.
Like, it probably wants a replacement shell, if anything.
I have a mess kit, and I think that costs like a pot.
Ooh, good dinner ideas.
Talon's just like thinking about all the different ways you can cook crab, and Ezra's like, well, I got a nice pot for it.
Crab Rangoon.
Yeah, yeah, Craig. See if you can talk to the beast.
I'll try it.
I love this back and forth.
So, you can always just leave the room, but well then, decide on how many arrows you want to fire into it or what kind of shell you want to offer it.
So,
I'm just gonna.
should I conquer it?
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Speak with the animal.
I mean, you can just use your wild empathy to sort of establish a basic connection, so you don't have to
Sure,
go around casting spells.
sure.
You decide to actually talk to the crab on a proper term. Um, wait, this is something that I just noticed that I really want an answer to, because that would be fucking stupid if they did that. So,
Crab.
so druids get a thing called they don't get wild empathy. Oh yeah, I guess they do get speak with animal then. All right, you decide to talk to the animal. The crab floats up a bit because it can't really hear you down there, and would like to know what you're doing in its house.
We're just looking for shiny things. Shiny things that will be of little value to you, but of great value to us.
Um, they're my shiny things. They're mine.
But would you be so kind as to share shiny things?
No, they're mine.
You see, my friends here, they really, really, really like shiny things, and
I like shiny things.
they're willing to do mean things to good friend crabs.
Well, then I'll snip
Yeah,
him in half. Snip, snip. And clacks his
maybe I
claws.
have a pot that he can wear.
You have to what?
A pot that he can wear, like a cooking pot.
We can get we can give you other shiny things.
Of course.
Ooh. Well, there is a good argument you can make for why an iron cooking pot would be better than a gold helmet for a hermit crab, but
I got an idea. I got an idea.
oh my god.
These Talon's always starts whispering to Craig. They like shiny things, right?
So it seems.
What if we made the cooking pot glow using that magic thing that we got?
Okay. I will touch the pot and make it very shiny and glowing.
Shiny.
It's great. This is actually one of the weird situations where prestidigitation is super good because it lets you polish it up.
Yes. You were here. Uh, the gang F for hermit crab.
The gang tricks a hermit crab.
Yeah,
Yes, you want to shine up the pot. If only have prestidigitation.
I, no, I make it glow with my touch of light or whatever the fuck it's called. I touch it and make it glow.
It glows as you plan to trick a hermit crab. I don't think it's the crab you should be worried about.
Look at how bright and shiny and better than the helmet that you're wearing is. This is better. Yeah, the crab is wearing a gold helmet.
I actually.
Also, guys, there's a problem here. I want you to realize this. There's a reason I don't want that friggin' helmet.
Why?
It weighs. How heavy is that thing gonna be? Like what? A few hundred pounds? Maybe it's made out of solid gold.
Could you not smack in my ears, please?
Sorry.
I mean, the helmet does look kind of bulky. It's probably meant for a statue more than a person.
I,
How
I,
many
I was
people's gonna carry that?
I was offering the pot as like praise, not for the helmet, but like for anything. It's a nice pot,
Yeah, I want the amulet.
and also, ooh, a ladle.
You're trying to deceive it with a ladle.
I
So yeah,
mean,
ask it for the amulet. That's all we really need. We can't carry the helmet. You guys can't carry that. I can't. I'm not trying.
Okay, try to get.
Get big.
I'll try to trade the pot for the amulet. Nice shiny pot for that drab, little, useless, ugly amulet.
Ooh.
Put your car salesman on this hermit crab.
You decide to trick the poor innocent boy and he will accept this deal. He wiggles out of his out of his helmet and goes inside the big shiny pot. Then
Now he has two homes.
Crab Claw picks up the amulet and puts it on the ledge for you. Boop.
I will gladly hand him the cooking pot.
Which you will wear proudly. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I mean, this is a win for him.
It's lighter and stronger.
Yeah,
Torvis,
he can actually move it. He has a mobile home and he has a main home now. We just made his
Torvis,
life
having
better.
watched all this, now believes he was probably correct.
All right. Well, it's an amulet of natural armor +1. So,
Thank you, good friend Crab.
so that's nice.
I will bow and slowly walk out of the room.
See? And guys, we got through all this without even killing anybody.
Marvelous.
The ghosts don't count. They're already dead.
All right. Well, do you want to go see with that Ezra room then?
But who gets the amulet?
That will be.
So you,
You said what of natural armor? Plus what?
+1.
Plus one of natural armor. And is this something that anybody can wear, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Takes your next slot.
yeah,
Well,
I just vote Cat just because he's always in combat. He has way more love that.
yeah, Cat is frontline fighter, so
Nice.
it would make sense for Cat to have.
Okay, now I'm back for the fifth time.
Yeah.
You get to keep the amulet.
Yeah, we were all saying that you get the amulet.
Woo, natural armor.
Sexy. All right. Start moving on back through the room with the sarcophagus.
We're walking back. So did that just happen?
Yeah.
And then we got through without killing anybody. We're good.
Ezra also points out that they removed all the coins that were in the way.
I mean, like there was a little slot. I put a gold coin in it, and just everything just went down, and this room appeared.
Where are these stairs go? Down those stairs leads to a door. Recap
It's the
room.
same room, actually.
Ah, okay.
That was that ledge you saw from the other platform.
Right.
Torvis, all the coins are gone. Instead, you see a hallway with some doors. The door to the north is labeled the communication room.
Did
And-
the other doors have?
This one has like people talking to each other. This one has some potion bottles and minerals. The south door is unclear.
What would
Okay.
you guys have heard while I was talking to the crab?
Crab noises.
Probably loosely your half of the conversation, and
Okay, Notorious, did you ever watch the first season of Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Yeah, I was old by then.
Ezra.
Oh, you watched the first season of Pokemon, right?
yeah, cool.
Remember the sounds Krabby made?
Exactly.
That's what I imagined.
Ezra, this is a large, barren room with statues on the sides with people holding books and glaives. A ghostly figure appears to be seated in a throne. It's the same guy as the statues, actually. He's addressing an audience and is moving his hands about, greatly enunciating what he says. His fingers are decorated with hooked rings, but the words from his phantom mouth are difficult to make out in a strange language.
I mean,
Unless you speak Thessalonian, you ain't understanding what he says.
Nope.
Hey, Craig, do you have that one spell that lets people understand what other people are saying?
Nope.
Damn it.
You know, you could always buy some scrolls.
We'll do that when you get back.
Like, cheap level 1 utility scrolls are super cheap.
If he's just kind of like talking to no one,
Mm-hmm. It seems to be some sort of recorded illusion.
It's kind of neat.
Marvelous. Maybe the room with the potions and minerals has more in it.
Let's go check that one out.
This room has 3 low tables. The covers are the on top of them are like tools, saws, long-bladed knives, scalpels. There's a collection of bones on the southern table. Too many for one skeleton, and too few to be two. Now, on the eastmost table is something that isn't a tool at all. It's a silver and gold seven-pointed star. One surface is studded with nodules and blades, and the other is covered with a thin curved handle. A seven-pointed star. In fact, I can show you what it looks like.
It's a glaive.
I was gonna reference scroll. Hey guys, you know what we should do?
Hmm.
We
What?
should like buy a house and start just collecting this stuff.
And just fill the house with the stuff from here?
Yeah. No, well, not just from here, but from everywhere we go. We find cool stuff.
There's our pile of goblin ears.
I
Some
sold
of
this.
some of them are feet.
I sold this.
She didn't get the feet ones because those were on fire.
And they're not ears. They don't buy feet.
Here, this is a feet. Come on.
Okay, finally, the door to the south, by the way, I forgot. It actually does have a description. The door to this room are made of stone but bear no handles. An indented outline of a seven-pointed star, its shape covered in hollows and slits, graces the spot where the handle should be.
Well, I mean that's kind of obvious, guys.
Oh, then go get the star, cat.
Did you just call me cat, human?
Nice arguments. You slide the big key in, I presume, unless you want to make sure that you're not about to walk into a death trap.
Ezra's gonna take a step back if Talon's opening these doors. Actually, no, she wouldn't. She'd be by the door.
Boop.
Wow.
There's a fire pit in the room, smoldering with embers. Ooh, something really cool is that what are they? In the northern quarters are wooden risers. Never heard of that. Filled with dozens of golden candles that burn without melting. They are eternal candles, and in total 60 of them. Each of them is worth 25 gold pieces. They're basically eternal torches, but candles.
Yeah, how do we carry those?
I mean, you probably brought a sack. You're experienced looters, I presume.
But wouldn't evergreen candles just burn the sack?
I don't like all this talk of burning sacks.
Yeah, it sounds unpleasant.
I mean, you can blow them out and you can just light them up later, I'm guessing.
Gonna get some perception out of the gang.
How do you blow out? I say as a roll perception, an ever burning object.
You just gotta put your fingers on it to snuff it out, and then you remove them and it goes back on again.
Well, I mean, then it's sure not very ever.
I think the fact that it doesn't wear out.
Ezra,
Man, I'm not perceiving anything today.
no, you're not.
Weird.
There's a few more secret alcoves in this room. One of which contains a silver coffer. Like it's a chest made of silver.
Oh, let's go check out the silver coffer, which might be this one.
The west one, yes. Inside is
What's in there?
it's a small coffer, but it jiggles as if something's inside when you give it a push. Inside is a ring, glimmering with energy. It is a ring of force shield. The force shield it generates is a seven-pointed star.
Dramatic stuff today.
So the ring of force shield is as follows: when you activate it, it generates a shield-sized and shield-shaped wall of force that stays with the ring and can be wielded by the wearer as if it were a heavy shield. It offers no armor check penalty or ACP since it's weightless and encumbrance-free. It can be activated and deactivated as a free action. Does not occupy a hand slot since it's basically on your wrist.
That is really cool.
I mean, you still can't use it doing a weapon because you can't use a shield like that, but you can just use it on a dime.
Huh.
Indeed, it's also worth a lot if you don't care about it.
Not at this store.
There's nothing in there, unfortunately. That one's empty.
I'm not healed for nothing.
Your adventurer gut tells you that you've sorted this place out.
And this thing, nobody died.
But there wasn't much to fight, so nothing much to kill.
Those shadows are pretty rough, though. I mean, they could have been rough.
They're pretty harsh for a low level, yes. They're worse than 5e because the rules are shit.
So like,
Yeah.
is the ring a charge per day or is it just a set?
Oh no, it just stays active.
Oh,
It's just if it's on, it's on. If it's off, it's off. No
Should've
durations.
wheeled that.
Who wants a +2 shield bonus?
I mean, I can use it, except for not very effectively because I'm doing buggers.
Well, you don't need proficiency to use the shield because it doesn't have ACP.
I have to wheel. I have to wheel the chain with both hands still until certain level.
I
Wait,
just hold
legit, I'm the only person with a one-handed weapon.
I no, I have a one-hand weapon.
You have a great sword.
No, I have my stuff.
Yeah, my
I have
chain. I'll turn. I can wield it one-handed when I become chain master.
and my cestus I have on both hands, but I can just do a punch with
I
it.
think your buccaneer benefits the most because it allows them to use your shield but still if they're hand free, which might qualify for some abilities.
Yeah, that way I could not use my mind gouge and could use it as for readying moves.
I kind of like how we're buckling magical items on the cat. Like do it. Like I dig it actually. All right, kitty, go. We put Raymond in a mech suit.
So,
Sex delicious.
what is stats the thing gives Stafford?
I'll post a link. Take a look at your own. Take a look. It's in a book.
Oh, I'm
Oh
gonna have
yeah,
to
it
song my
basically
head
just
now.
replaces my mind gouge.
Nice. Now you will always have a hand free. After that, kids and cadets, you clear out the place. The smoky smell and the excess of salty air isn't very nice. So I presume you wiggle it out of there. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You make your way outside into the sun and make your way back to Sandpoint. You have a few weeks until the next book officially starts, so do you want to do anything in those intervening weeks?
Dude, other goblins to hunt.
Do you want to go take care of that?
Maybe we
Sure.
could get that bounty before I start spending all that money I have lying around. Because I have like a big sack of gold that I've been building up this whole time. Because I haven't been spending much of it.
I mean, we could take a week, do some spending.
Take a week.
Depending on whether I want to
Between the money
replay.
that I got from the last big battle, the money I've been building up, and the money from selling that one dagger, I've got like 4,000 gold lying around.
Wait, the dagger alone is worth more than that.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but you said I got
everything get
half of it, didn't
split?
I?
Doesn't
No,
everything get split?
you get half of the 10,000, so you get the 5,000.
Oh,
150.
so that means I get another 2,500.
So you have a lot of money.
I have 6,733.
I mean, spend it. You might need it.
Maybe get dust get Ezra like a magic weapon.
Yeah, I was figuring. Bella should also have quite a bit of money lying around.
I
Doesn't
have
doesn't the gold get split up evenly?
Well, I
880.
mean, we never got around to splitting it up, and
Yeah,
most of my money came from that one dagger that I have, which was the thing I've been carrying around too much.
yeah, I only have like 800. Well, it's not over, but
I was
there is
figuring
more.
I had it on the dice, and we could figure out what we were going to use it for together as a team.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good at the moment.
You don't want a magic weapon, or maybe get some enhancements for your armor. You don't want to get something that lets you move fast. I don't know, like There are magic items out there. You don't want to buy a potion, don't want to buy a wand.
Well, I mean, I already
I'm
purchased some
still
holy
I'm
ones.
still fucking swatting people with a fucking stick
Yeah, but now you can turn into a bear.
once a day.
That is true. When you turn into a bear, you can also make applause magic. I am spending so many $1,000.
Like for 4,000, you can buy a +2 bonus to one of your statistics. Does no one here want to buy a bladed belt? Is there truly is there truly no interest in a cap of light? There are many items, dude. There are so many items. You can buy weapon crystals. You can buy ion stones that look fancy. Bladed belt. Rather than being one continuous line of materials, belts consists of many bits of tanned leather joined together by metal studs. On command, it transforms into a single slashing or piercing melee weapon of choice. And it can turn back at notice as well.
So it's like a switchblade on you wrap around your pants.
Yeah,
That's kind of funny. I like it.
why not buy a word bottle?
Dog, there's just so many items to look through, though.
Yes, that's why you usually take care of the stuff in between sessions.
Which, speaking of that, I think I am gonna call it here because I have.
Sleepy Claire?
Uh, it's not sleep. I'm actually kind of ill right now.
Oh heck.
Kind of gotten through it. Pull now.
Okay, I get it. I get it, Claire. So, how about we go? You know what? We'll call there for today, and then we'll organize some. See if we can organize a quick Pathfinder 2e game to get you guys familiar with it, so you can decide better what you want to play.
Okay.
Okay. Dude,
I might.
sweet.
Next time, the Skinshaw murders are gonna kick off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus we can use that time to you know, you guys
Check
can
my
pull,
items.
yeah, check out items because there's a lot of yeah, savage
You
skin.
want some soul soap?
There's a lot of stuff. I have like, you don't also ask me for because I have about 1,100 gold pieces.
Did you ever liquidate your dead partner's assets?
Do you have anything good to liquidate?
Probably not.
The best I have
Now,
is that masterwork crossbow, but we lost it in the water.
um, um,
I from Eleanor. I have a pearl thing, a potion of status, and a scroll of magic missile.
Oh yeah, we had the pearl thing.
Yeah, which we never figured out what that was until we were told what it was.
wasn't it a pearl of power?
Oh, pearl of power. What is that?
I don't know if it is a pearl of power.
I think what you said, you told me when I asked you about it again, you said the book really didn't specify what it was, so you didn't know. It just said like pearl, magic pearl or something.
Oh, let me just roll through it. I think this problem was that I was the one who made that section of treasure because I do spice it up a little bit from time to time. Wait. Yeah, there is a pearl of power on my treasure list. So it is probably pearl of power for first level spells. It lets you get his prepared spell slot back.
That'd be something for Notorious.
But he doesn't prepare spells.
He's a druid. He does prepare spells.
Oh,
That's what
or
my fireball or gold transfer, does the prepared spells.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that works also.
So he, so he could get back his cure light wounds or his acid maul or stonefist.
I'll probably just give pearl power to a no to maybe sell potion of stat.
Anyway, Claire, you can scoot whenever you want to.
okay. Oh boy.
What weenie?